Snowing again. Welcome to February in Wisconsin. Hi everybody, welcome to this episode of Sharon's Home and Garden. As you saw a little bit earlier, it is snowing once again, which is very typical weather for February in Wisconsin. So I thought I'd bring you inside and do a few things here in the garden, my indoor hydroponic slash seed starting garden, and just kind of see what we have to do here. I do need to harvest some lettuce because this lettuce is getting pretty big. And I'm going to take a salad for lunches this week, so I'm really looking forward to it. I did a taste test earlier this week and found that this lettuce is so tender and so tasty. I'm really going to enjoy it. We're also going to check up on a couple of the other items here, and I will show you where I ended up putting my cucumbers and my tomatoes, because I did find a nice spot for them, and I'll kind of show you the setup. It's a little tight over there, but I should be able to get the camera in there and show you what's going on there. So let's start by harvesting some lettuce. So here is a mix of lettuces. It's a hydroponic mix. I'll put a picture of it, of the seed packet here. And this one looks like it could form a head, but I'm going to use this batch as a cut and come again lettuce. So basically, if you're doing a cut and come again, you just cut the outside leaves. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. I probably don't even need scissors. Just pinch off these outside leaves. My hands are nice and clean. I don't have to worry about any contamination. And then I will leave these center leaves. So I'm gonna just go ahead and harvest all this, and I'll fast forward you through the whole process. There you go, all cleaned up. I left the center stem as much as I could. I'm going to take a few more here so it can regrow. Now my rule of thumb is when you have a cut and come again lettuce, you take 3 cuttings from it and then replant. So after the second cutting, I will plant more seed, and then we'll be able to continue on with this. So look at that big beautiful bowl of lettuce. That is going to garner some really good salads. So other than the lettuce, I have planted my parsley. These were planted last week. A little basil, that one on the right is a basil, and then some parsley. So those are all done. And then in this over here, the pak choy are still doing great. I have taken the tomatoes out. Can't get you in there because the light's in the way. You can see the empty holes in the back. So I'm going to have to find something else to put in there. Now back in here, this is where I have put my cucumbers and tomatoes. And this particular plant is my bay laurel tree. And I bring it in here every year because it cannot survive the winters outside. So it gets to winter inside. So one of the things I want to do is take some cuttings of this and see if I can propagate that. But off to the left of this, I have my cucumbers and tomatoes set up. I bought these lights. They are LED lights. They're like a foot by a foot. And then underneath them, here are my cucumbers. And it doesn't show up very well, but I have this mesh, you see that, on a frame, and I made the frame out of electrical conduit. It goes up, over, down, and then the mesh is stretched between the electrical conduit. So the cucumbers are going to live in here. It's fairly warm in here. I do have a heat duct over that has a vent in it, so that I opened that up a little bit to get some warmth. So here are the tomatoes I transplanted. And I'm using, let's go back here. I'm using these as supports right now. The tomatoes do firm up pretty well. Now the lights were holding them up, but the tomatoes do firm up, the stems do, really quickly. Like this one over here, that tomato is standing on its own completely. But it was very floppy when I first put it in the cup. And then this little basil I nipped off the top so I can get some bushier growth. So he'll be growing next to the tomatoes. So that is where I ended up putting the cucumbers and the tomatoes. So that is pretty much it for this week. I haven't had a lot of time to plant or replant. I've got a couple things. Oh, I should show you this. Hold on. So my garden berries and my melon pears are all up. I had pretty good germination. These seeds were from last summer. So I didn't want to really, I used the rest of them up. I didn't want to save them another year. So we'll see what we get from that. And then some of my onions came up, some of them did not. That was very old onion seed. Also, the celery has not come up yet, but I'm not worried about that. So that was old seed as well. And I know that celery is very finicky when it comes to using new seed or using old seed. So I didn't get a whole lot done this week. I ended up having to put my cat down. She was sick, she had cancer, so I had to make that decision, and that just kind of sidetracked me. So next week, hopefully, I will have some more things planted, and we will get some new life growing in this garden. All right? So thanks for watching, everybody. I hopefully will see you next week, and always remember, be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.